Okay, so we're going to see if you can try to keep up with some of the things that I'm going to do in Excel. We have a random 10 number set of 1 through 10, and we're just going to see if we can kind of manipulate some of these things. Let's say this is my data set, and all of a sudden I find out we were off by every single number by 5. So here's a fast way of increasing all of these numbers by 5 instead of just adding 5 and typing, because that might take a long time with a big number set. So maybe insert one. So this is my original set. Maybe this needs to be my original set plus 5. Okay. To do any kind of math in Excel, you have to hit the equal sign. So to do any kind of math, even if it's as simple as like this plus this, you have to hit the equal sign. Then we're going to take this cell. You can take this cell by just clicking on it, and it will highlight it, and it'll say plus 5. And so it did the math for us. It took that number and added 5. If you want it to do it for all of these cells, there's a little box down at the corner. You're going to take that and just move it down. And as you can see, it did it for the entire set. And if I kept like increasing this set, Excel is very smart. It can figure out the pattern of adding by 1. So if that thing had to increase, this thing can increase very easily by taking that and just moving it on down. Okay. So that's kind of nice. Let's say if we wanted to add all these things up together. If you ever need a new column, if you just highlight the column and then hit right click, you can click insert and it will just insert what you need. So let's say I want to figure out the totals of these things. Again, to do any kind of math, we have to hit the equals button. And what we really want to do is we want to add them all up. So the word for adding in Excel is called sum. So you type in sum, and then you have to type a parenthesis. And then you start with your first number and just drag it on down. And then we'll have those added together. The nice part is, if you're going to do the same operation, if you just drag it over, it'll have done the same operation. So it saves us the time of typing in all of those different things. So those are kind of a couple basic things that's very nice, just being able to add a whole bunch of numbers together. You can also, if we wanted to find instead of just finding the total, we can find the average number. So we could find the average number in this set. Again, this one's actually pretty easy. You just do equals, and then you type in average. Okay, you start with the first number, you go down to the last number. And it found the average number is 12.5. We can actually move that over and find the average for that number again. Other things that you can do in Excel that are pretty nice just by simple commands is you can do any kind of like math operation of adding 2 cells or subtracting. So I could take that cell minus that one and it will subtract it. And it's a very powerful software with a lot of tools in it, and it's really what most businesses use. We won't get into super complex things into Excel like conditional formatting, but we will get basic stuff like this. The best thing to do right now is just try to play around and see all the different things that you could try or think of doing with the data set, and try to think of like ways around it. As you can see, the other nice thing that Excel has in it is it kind of starts to predict what you might need. So if you type like a letter like S, you can see all the different commands that are possible with it. And you can see that we have a standard deviation command, which was one of the words we learned today. So again, that's just with S, and like you can do that with every single letter. It does have a sort command, so that's the last thing I'll show you. If you want to sort these, you can sort this column by just going over to here to sort and filter, and I can just say I want the largest to smallest, and it will ask you if you want to expand. So if you go, hey, I want it to affect this column, you can say switch this column with it or don't. I'm going to say don't switch that column with it, and you can see that it switched all the different numbers around from least to greatest very, very quickly, which messed this up because we put that as not an actual number, but a command. But yeah, so it has a lot of nice features. Again, just try to play around with it, see what you can do.